What's going on, YouTube? This your boy Bluegrass and Bands, Black Bald, and I'm just giving y'all a holler, man. I was reading this story. I'm over here in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, and there's a story out of Hardin County, and I believe they've been doing this to other people, where if you catch the coronavirus or you're exposed to COVID-19, you and the people in your household have to sign a contract or an agreement by the Department of Health to say that you'll stay inside for the duration of the time until the virus has subsided and you're no longer able to pass it on to other folks. These folks came to the house. They said they have to sign this document saying that they'll do this, but there were certain things on there that the wife in particular didn't agree with, and she said she wouldn't sign. I believe it was something like, of course, if you go to the hospital, if it's an emergency, you go to the hospital, you have to make certain calls and procedures in order to go to the hospital. And of course, in an emergency situation, that's very hard to do, especially having a little child. So she refused to sign it. She also just didn't want to be able to not want to go everywhere, at any time. So they didn't allow her. She refused to sign it. So the judge issued a house arrest, a court order house restriction. So they put ankle bracelets on the child, the mother, and the father. They put these people under house arrest because one person was exposed to COVID-19, excuse me. Now I want you to sit there and let that marinate for a second. They put the whole family, including the baby, on house arrest because one person was exposed to COVID-19. I understand the spikes are going on. A lot of people are afraid. But I remember when this virus first started. And they started doing lockdowns. The world was starting crazy and new and different. And people were saying, man, they're gonna start instilling curfews and really initiating martial law. They're going to start really initiating martial law around here where you can't leave your house. They were thinking like tanks are going to be in front of your house, or the police, they see you, they're going to arrest you, or they were thinking the military is going to be out there with, AK-47s, assault rifles, tanks going up and down the street of New York at one point to make sure people are staying inside, which none of that stuff happened. But when you think about it, the technology with the ankle monitor is a lot more scary than any kind of martial law that you have, because now they're tracking you from A to B, from B to C. You can't leave your house unless you talk to me. So it's like it's a different form of control. I don't think this goes all the way up to our president. I don't want to say this is Stalin-like. I don't want to say this is Mao-like. I don't want to say this is Hitler-like, because you always get the Hitler comparisons. But it is to a certain form of way of tracking people. It's kind of what's that movie with Tom Cruise where they say they commit the crime before they even committed it. Like, I believe that's the way the world is heading towards with technology. Like, they're gonna use this virus as an excuse to track you every single place you go. Now, people, of course, they're gonna be like, that infringes on my rights. They don't want that at first. The initial knee-jerk reaction, I'm an American, you can't infringe on my rights, you can't tell me where to go, you can't constantly track me. That's really hurting my amendments as a human, just a basic human living. I deserve my right to privacy, correct? But when you think about it, if there's overwhelming support for overall safety as a community, as a country, as a nation, as a world, if there's overall support for saying that this virus that hasn't killed a lot of people but spreads like crazy, but let's be honest, it has not killed a lot of people. God bless those people that have died from it. I'm not trying to downgrade the people that have died from it or people that were affected from it. God bless you and your family, but really it has not killed a lot of people when compared to other pandemics because of the technology that we have. But if they start seeing that as an excuse to begin to track you as a person, and you folks agree with that and are okay with that, because I told about 5 people this story. I told about 5 different family members, 5 different people, and they were like, yeah, that's okay, that's cool, I've heard of that. So they're okay with people being tracked. They're okay with people being tracked because the overall good of society, they feel like we're not getting the virus. We're not getting this virus that's killing people, which is, like I said, the numbers aren't, it's really low. It's really low from the people that are catching it, which are in the millions and millions now. For the people that are dying, the number is really low. So you're sacrificing your freedom. Once again, you're sacrificing your rights as a human, which people would have never done a year ago. I don't care what it is. They would have never sacrificed any of their rights for this virus. They're willing to see other people wear ankle monitors, and you have not committed a crime. Just somebody telling you you have COVID. Now you're assuming that. Now the way this virus is spreading so fast that eventually everybody's going to be exposed to COVID-19. Everybody's going to be eventually exposed. If you haven't been exposed, you're going to be exposed. That's the nature of this disease. So eventually everybody's going to be having to be under house arrest. Everybody's going to have to wear an ankle monitor, and everybody's going to be under restriction in the watching eye, the all-seeing eye. Which it makes you think back to maybe this was the whole plan from the beginning. We can't tell people we want to track them. We can't outright say we want you to wear ankle monitors, but if we develop something that gives you more fear than being tracked, which is death, either we track you or you could possibly kill your loved one or yourself or your child or your mother, etc. You'll be willing to give up some of your rights easily. They did the same thing happened when when Bin Laden, of course, the Twin Towers hit, and they started doing things like tracking the phones, the Patriot Act, where they could track more conversations. They could start reading people's mail, checking more emails, and saying it's under the Patriots Act because we believe these people could be possible terrorists. They're letting people's rights be eliminated because the fear is bigger than the actual losing of rights, infringing on rights. So I want to let y'all marinate on that for a second. This your boy Bluegrass and Bands, Black Bald. God bless.